Preparing for any major match is a lot of work, especially if that match involves complicated props and mechanisms. So it sort of goes without saying that the hosting club, its dedicated volunteers, and its sponsors spend thousands of man-hours designing, building, and testing the stages. Everything is taken into account and planned for. Nothing is left to chance. Except, of course, the weather. The worst nor'easter in easily over a year picked the very week of the Delaware match to make a special guest appearance. And with less than a day before the match was due to start, it looked like Mother Nature was going to rip the place apart. After all, why build your stages just once when you can do it 2 or 3 times? But at least we had our fearless match director, Chuck Lindberghs, to keep things focused.
But you can re-engage these because you're at the next point of cover and it's safe to do so. So ammo management matters.
And after a few days that would have driven most men to substance abuse, Chuck welcomed the field of competitors and kicked off the match.
We try to make the matches feel like you're in the scenario. So if you're in a garage scenario, there's cars in the garage, there's stuff like that. If you're in your house, there's pictures on the walls, there's stuff like that. So it should be enjoyable. Hopefully you like it. We want you to have a good time. We want you to be safe. That's that.
So, despite Mother Nature's best attempt to shut us down, the shooters were ready, the sponsors had helped fill the goodie tables, the trophies were all awaiting new homes, and the sky hinted that there might even be dry moments. Match director Chuck Lindberghs knows these stages better than anyone, so let's let him take us through each one.
First stage is dirty pond water. Well, this stage lived up to its name. We built this in a natural environment with bushes and trees for the visual barriers and the feeling of really being there. Mother Nature had taken over and literally flooded the stage with 9 inches of rain, which accumulated in the bay to 18 inches. Well, after wading in and retrieving all the props, we reset it in an open area and used walls to simulate the barriers, both visual and hard cover. The stage runs like this. Starting behind the barricade, use either side to engage 4 targets using tack priority. Then, move to the floating bridge and engage the next 3 targets on the move. These targets had hard cover and non-threats to add to the challenge of the moving platform. Due to the rain and wet wood, Talent Grips came to the rescue and overnighted some custom-made, non-slip grips we put on the stairs to help prevent slips and falls. Traction for the feet and hands. Who knew? Lindberghs Revenge. Could you imagine Lindbergh being able to save his child? Well, here was your opportunity. A simple 12-shot stage within the confines of your child's second-floor bedroom. Hearing screams from their room, you rush to their aid. Upon opening the door, one of your kids breaks free from the kidnapper's grips and runs toward you. You engage their threats while avoiding the charging child. Depending on your speed, the child becomes an obstacle to all of the targets. Shoot fast and stay ahead of them, or delay and follow behind as you engage. Hesitate and you end up leading and following as you shoot. RTE targets supplied the ball-bearing swinger for the final target, which hid behind the kid's dresser. As with all moving targets, timing matters. Our next stage is come clean. Moving from the bedroom to the bathroom, our vision was to have targets hiding behind an opaque shower curtain. Well, this was all the more challenging since rain continued all weekend and the targets were bagged too. Starting on the landing, you engage 2 targets on the move toward the bathroom door. So, open the door and use tack priority to engage the dudes hiding behind the fixtures. Burglar has friends. That's our next stage. It's our Glock-sponsored stage. All targets were a minimum 3 shots. Starting at a low ready, strong hand only, in the hallway, holding the Flintstone model cell phone in your weak hand, you engage the 2 targets while retreating and holding on to the phone. Once done, you could drop the phone and the rest were freestyle. Move to the right wall and engage the 2 targets. The second one had a popper behind it. Hit anywhere in the down 0 and the popper fell, activating the 2 targets on the left side. Round count affected this stage. Swingers were slowing as you reloaded for target 3. Target 5 and 6 used non-threats as obstruction, so place your shots, folks. Place your shots. Basement scene. Originally designed to have a roof and be semi-low light, during stage builds, a 60-mile-an-hour wind came through, on top of the rain, yes indeed, and took the roof off with virtually every stage wall being brought down, with the 2x2s snapping at ground level. This affected all of our stages. But with the basement stages, we weren't able to reuse the roof, so all walls were rebuilt with 2x4s and 2x3s Friday, and the roof had to go without. Open the door and use either side of the door frame for cover and slice the pie. Many people commented that the stages seemed to favor the lefties. I wonder how that happened. It's good to be the king. Anyway, for you righties, using the left door frame, you had to transition from popper to the out and back before transitioning back past the popper for the next target. That is, unless you're quick, and as there was a delay of activation from popper to the out and back, some were able to hit the next target and get the out and back before he hit. Children of the Corn. This seems like a pretty simple scenario. You're going to have 2 targets shot on the move, 1 from behind cover, 3 more on the move, and then 2 more behind cover. 8 targets. How complex could it be? Well, the more you know the rules, the more you use them to your advantage. Anyway, here we go. After a nice meal, you decide on a peaceful stroll through the garden. A scream from the house destroys the mood, and the children of the corn are kidnapping your grandchild. Head for the house to right this wrong. As you step from behind the corn, you're going to gauge 2 on the move. Go to hard cover, take out the 3rd. Advance to the hard cover again, and as you pass through the corn stalks, you're going to see the 3. Shoot them on the move. and finish up with your last two. How do you do it? Lots of options. Poolside. You know, at every match there's always one stage that everybody seems to like, and this is it. You're the lucky one to not only have a pool but a wet bar in the backyard. Lounging poolside, you must defend the serenity. Oh, the serenity. Tack sequence for the first two. Pivot in the chair and engage the popper without causing alcohol abuse. Then move to the edge of the bar and engage your next target. Moving past the visual read barrier and engage T4 on the move. Got to use cover though, because you're going to be exposed. The next two are from cover. Then proceed to the open kitchen window and engage the last two while missing your party guests. Homecoming. You've returned home from the store and parked on the street. As you close the door, you are surprised by a threat. Engage him with 6 shots. You could do it standing, backing up, your choice, but we don't tell you what to do. You have to figure it out for yourself. As you move around the back of the car, you're going to engage another target from cover. Once you head toward your garage to protect your family and your prized possession, you shall see. You have 2 targets to engage on the move. Go to either side of the garage and shoot through the entry door, slicing the pie and avoiding your prized possession, including the family. Our final stage is driveway assault. You come home from shopping or unloading groceries from the trunk. A bad guy yells that he has your family hostage while they rob your home. You see the threats, the guns, and hear the screams. Take action. When you drop the groceries, a drop turner presents itself, but not for long. Then move to either side of the car, using it for cover, and shoot through the garage door windows. These are long shots, 25 yards. So accuracy rules the day here. Once you're done with the 4 windows, advance forward, taking out another surprise target. From the windshield pillar, you're going to use cover to engage the final 2 targets. Quick drop turners, long distance shots, some shooting on the move, and some quick targets over the hood of the car, made for a pretty interesting stage. This was our Slim Jim stage. You either loved it or you hated it. The distance really played a part.
Our deepest thanks to all the sponsors of the match. Please remember these great companies and spend your money with the businesses that give back to our sport.